This is the next series powered by Verve and looking at the cutting edge marketers, trends, and the industry, because we are where the industry comes together. And at that intersection, I think you are a perfect fit. Katja Brandt, CEO of Mindshare DACH. And yes, it's been a while since we chatted last time. You're looking amazing. What about the vibe in the industry? Is it nearly as ecstatic and exciting?
Yeah, I think if you can say something about the industry, it's amazing what teams are coming up and the speed of development. I think that's really, I'm really enthusiastic about that.
I feel that every time we chat, and speed is one thing. And there's two key questions. Where's the growth? Where's the creativity? And do they need to be in different places? So I'll start with that. The creativity, that's brand. The growth is performance. Brand and performance. How do you think brands should balance that? What are you telling them as a leading agency? Where do they need to focus, and how do you make that case?
The first thing, what is important, you need to measure and to manage it. Yes. And we have got various possibilities to do that, but there's one tool which I briefly would like to explain.
Okay.
We are capable to understand a TV campaign, how it interferes on websites and other placements. And we've got two cases where we really did that. And the one is Booking.com. We are with them as a media agency since they started. And they were at the beginning really concentrating on being a performance platform in the tourism area. But then finally they really did discover they have to become a brand. And just to name the figures, what business potential is there by really managing, bringing the brand to that platform. So within 3 years, we could increase the ad awareness from 50 to 85%.
That's massive.
And that is massive. And therefore, the performance share in marketing also increased from about 20 to over 50. So you see how much this is linked together. And I've got another great example, which is TK Maxx. They also came from being a retailer and more focused on being a performance platform selling. By bringing the awareness to it, we could really, on the one hand, lift the awareness from about 50 also to over 80. But also here, the web visits on the store increased by nearly 50%, and the sales went far beyond 100%. So there you see the power of bringing that together. So there's not one solution. You really have to dig into the situation of the company, but it's highly important, and that's a real important field for media agencies to understand and to grow their clients.
And to prove, because what you've done is because of your tool, your internal tool, I take it, Katja, you've been able to measure the impact.
We can measure the impact, and of course that's not the only tool, but that's one very straightforward tool what helps us to, for example, get these results.
And they're fantastic results, because we need more like that, because we're hearing so much about the fact that a strong brand has an impact on customer acquisition costs, loyalty. It is brand equity. It pays. It pays dividends. And those are exciting examples. I'm just curious, when we look at the industry, we also see inefficiencies and we see gaps. You've covered the measurement gap really well, I have to say. And I wish more would do that, because we need people saying this, that it is something that matters. Where do you see the inefficiencies, and what are some thoughts about how to bridge those gaps?
I think that starts where I started at the beginning. This tremendous speed we have in our industry where new things come up, to understand them and connect them in the right way, to learn quick enough and to make it transparent and to make it comparable. We are investing highly to manage that. On the one hand, focus on the audience, so put the customer and the audience in the middle. We have an AI-focused tool which really does that, understanding the channels and combining the business objectives and how we can address that in a good way and balance channels, timings, etc. in a good way. The other point is that the ecosystem around a brand and the brand who wants to talk to the customer is exploding. You have got so many special areas of influencers, but many other things which you have to take in consideration to have a modern, up-to-speed communication with your customers.
There's a lot of things taking their attention as well, to your point.
Absolutely. And to do that, we have developed a platform. It's called WPP Open. And it's really from the WPP because we want to incorporate all kinds of agency stacks and not only from WPP. So if Mindshare has a client, we can provide that platform, and any other agency also from competitors can lean in, and we can all focus to work for the client based on AI. So to get things up to speed, to understand quicker, to have transparency, to have seamless communication. And also, again, here we are very much always measuring us. The first large client, we offered that, and we did build that up, and we've got now long enough experience to talk about that, is Coke. So we have built a whole ecosystem around Coke with own and other agencies, bringing that together. The processing of the campaigns going to market has increased by 3, so we are 3 times quicker, and we know that this is a huge competitive advantage. And the other thing is that we have to admit, in media and marketing, we are, of course, due to the quick changements, very often busy with faults to happen.
Yeah.
Timing didn't work out, the wrong creatives came up, etc. We could reduce that by over 20%. And that's huge. So I'm also here absolutely positive, and I really think it's a great idea to have this open platform.
It is. And you're proving it with the inefficiencies. I mean, that's an incredible gain by something so simple as bringing everything together. And that's what actually brands want to do, because they see other alternative opportunities. There's out of home, there's CTV, there's stitching together web and app differently. Even TV, radio. Where do you see the opportunity in the alternative channels, and how are you also bringing that into this platform? Because it's great to be able to orchestrate them all in one place.
Absolutely, but I can tell you it's not easy. It's a lot of work.
Even busy. I didn't hear about this last year, but it is fascinating, really.
Absolutely. If you look into the results, it's really worth it, and it's relevant. So I think there are really various opportunities. But I would like to focus on one area, which we really think is one which really brings a lot of things together, which will help us to address customers even better. Yeah. And that's retail media. Retail media today has got a huge potential. It will be over 20 billion in Europe, 26, so in the year 26. And we have their opportunity to really work with first-party data, bring brand and performance together to understand customer journeys in a completely different way, to have closed loops. So we think there's a huge potential in there. I think that's clear. Not only that we think that. If you look to the American, US market, the market is already much more advanced and has a high relevance. You have to be honest, today we are not there where we have to be. So that's intention where we would like to be, and also, of course, what the big retailers are selling. But we need to invest in making data accessible. How much are
and the data that needs to be passed on? The publishers are still asking them questions.
Yeah.
What data is really valuable?
Absolutely. So how far does the retailers let us as agency look into it, that we can justify that to our clients to invest in that area? So I think that's not settled yet where that goes. We have to have a managed service so that we can act directly in these platforms, because otherwise we are too slow to react on it. So that has to be provided. Then, of course, the quality, the proof, the connection has to be set, because the retail data get valuable if they are connected to TV data, etc.
Yeah,
in theory,
to bring together
The negotiation,
holistic.
absolutely. The
picture.
negotiations are running, but this beauty still has to be proven in practice. But it's really developing in a huge speed. And for us, it's highly important to have great partnerships. So we are very strong in our partnership already with the Schwarz Group. They are also here with Amazon, but also with a technical provider who plays a also important role of making things accessible and comparable with it, which is Curtail.
Well, that all fits with your idea, which I think is very much a platform play, which is very, very smart and very helpful because we need that orchestration in the industry now. We need to bring this all together. I asked about where you saw the opportunity, very much retail media. The publishers themselves, the publishers are the new audience. That's really helping in a world of signal loss where we don't have the data we used to, but we know more about context and we understand preference if we understand the publishers that are attracting the audience.
I think the publishers are very aware of that. But as always, there are a lot of politics, and especially Europe needs to understand that they have to take down regulations. I know that a lot of also from Germany coming media houses are highly interested in being much more advanced in these areas. I think there's a lot of understanding of politics, so the new world of economy, and supporting also these things by not hindering by legislations which do not support these areas.
Yes, 16 states in a state as big as Oregon, that is difficult. In a country as big as Oregon, yes.
And Europe as well. There are a lot of regulations also coming from Europe, which hinder to set this up because, of course, we talk about Germany, but we also talk about setting this up in Europe.
Absolutely.
And I think there's great potential. We still have to do some homework as industry and as Europe in the political area and Germany in the political area.
The opportunities. I started with those. Growth, creativity. They don't need to be separate. Very creative brands. Coke, for example. And look what you were able to do there. Where do you see the next wave of creativity? Is it for you an AI-powered or an AI-augmented wave?
The company who's using AI the quickest and smartest will have an incredible advantage. Because disruption, the change, the new possibilities which come up to understand the surrounding. You don't have all that qualification which you would need. And by the way, you would be far too slow. So I think AI plays in one and the other role is basic. AI has to be secure. So we as a company are not allowed to use open market AI. We have to use our company, WPP AI, which is good because we have to secure, of course, the data of our clients. But there, I think we are very, very advanced. And up to now, AI doesn't take over the creativity, but it speeds up the creativity. So you can prompt a target group, and you get pictures how that target group looks like. And so we can be much more specific already in our media plans. But the same creative agency of our network has the same possibilities. So the first phase of getting ideas, of scripting, you can do that within minutes and not anymore within days. And so I think AI is a base of all what we are doing.
What's fascinating for me, Katja, not only your energy, but how the agency is evolving, how you're evolving your agency. What would you say is closing the role and responsibility is of an agency now in this exciting new world where we're talking more about orchestration?
To create communication in the former times was money. Now data comes next to it to make communication valuable and better than the competition, to create a competitive advantage. And so for us, it's highly important to create here a benefit for our clients. So understand data, leverage data, manage data, have great partnerships with companies who deliver data. There's also our responsibility. But furthermore, and that always has been, of course, in a different scale, because the responsibility to create a competitive advantage for the brand, for the company, with what we can achieve in media. But of course, media gets today much broader in the influence and what we can do and the understanding because it's so much technical based, and technic figures were always also our heritage. It's very close to us to develop in that direction, and we as a company, I would say, we are absolutely leading.
And it's all about sustainable and profitable growth. So it's thinking long term, which you absolutely are. Building some amazing products and platforms. I will be checking in, and it's been such a joy again to catch up with you. Thanks so much for taking the time and filling us in on what's going on there. Some amazing data that makes the main point that brand and performance, creativity and growth can be aligned. Thanks so much, Katja.
Thank you so much, Peggy. Thank you.